Welcome back to another episode of DeerTalk. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Juan Campos again. He's our main speaker for DeerTalk. He's the professional here. For those of us that are joining us for the first time, my name is Jonael Bosques. This topic is inspired by extension and what extension is. A lot of people don't have a clear image of what extension does, and our mission in extension is providing research-based unbiased education. Our objective is to have solutions for common problems in order for us to advance the profitability of farming enterprises, or in order to promote healthy communities. And for that, we have CHeRI. We have developed CHeRI in extension to help our communities thrive through deer farming operations. So Juan, let's go in depth with our topic for today. Let's talk about CHeRI. What is CHeRI? And we're not talking about the fruit. We're talking about your initiative. So go for it.
Hello, John. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again. And yes, I will be talking about CHeRI. So CHeRI is the acronym for a really important program here in Florida. It's the Cervid Health Research Initiative. That's the acronym for CHeRI. The Cervid Health Research Initiative started in 2014 thanks to the support of deer farmers, deer farmer associations here in Florida that were really worried about their animals dying from certain viral diseases, specifically episodic hemorrhagic disease and blue tongue. And they were very worried about that, and they wanted to have a team or a group of people that will be able to study and find solutions for that problem. So CHeRI is a Florida legislator approved for the state of Florida. The state of Florida gives the funds for CHeRI, and that's how it started. The mission, the main mission of CHeRI is to seek and promote interdisciplinary science. Like you mentioned, everything is based on science, and with that be able to educate our deer farmers and produce education projects to increase the health and productivity of deer farming here in Florida. And with that, also be able to promote the health of native wildlife and the ecosystem in which they live.
The services that you provide, I know that you're a veterinarian, but there's other people involved. Talk to me about all the services or some of the services that CHeRI provides for deer farmers in Florida.
Yes. Like I said, CHeRI is an interdisciplinary team. So it's based in the University of Florida through IFAS. It's based in Gainesville, and it's the people in CHeRI have different fields. So that's the whole objective of CHeRI, being able to put together people that will be able to look at different aspects of diseases, management, all the problems that we have in the deer farming industry. Among them, I am a veterinarian. The director is Dr. Samantha Wisely from the Department of Wildlife. We have virologists, we have entomologists. So a group of really good people to work on that. So, like I said, the objective is to be able to build a network, try to know all our deer farmers and work with them so that they can improve their production, be able to develop best management practices in terms of course, managing deer, because the deer industry, that's one of the things that the deer industry is relatively very young. If you look at the deer industry in comparison with cattle or sheep that go back thousands of years, really the deer industry has probably 200 years. So we still need to learn a lot. And that's where science and research comes in. And that's very important. That's one of the objectives of CHeRI. Also, like I said, our main objective is to fight viral diseases. It turns out that these viral diseases, both of them that are the most deadly, are transmitted through insects. So for that, we are working on establishing a best management practice for integrated pest management, for example, and create useful decision-making tools for producers. But one of the most interesting services that CHeRI provides to deer farmers is that anybody that's a deer farmer or owns deer in the state of Florida can give us a call, and we will be able to go to their farm and perform a field necropsy, collect samples, and I would say in a very high percentage tell them exactly what killed their deer. Why is that important? That's extremely important because with that, the farmer knows what's killing his deer, if it's a viral disease, if it's a bacteria or something what's going on, so he can take preventive measurements. And on the other hand, we can collect samples and do research and analyze those data in a way that gives us a better understanding of the type of diseases that we have here in Florida. And that again ends up helping us to be able to develop plans to prevent those diseases.
So we were talking earlier, and I want you to name me the top three challenges associated with deer farming that you have identified after initiating CHeRI.
Yes, like I said, CHeRI started because of the concern that deer farmers had for viral diseases, specifically hemorrhagic diseases. We have two viruses that are very deadly for deer here in Florida. One a little bit more than the other one, and it's the episodic hemorrhagic disease, which affects Florida and practically most of the United States up north as well. And we have blue tongue virus. Both of them are hemorrhagic viruses and are very deadly. I would say approximately from all the animals we have done necropsies and collected samples, probably around almost 50% of the animals died from those diseases. The other diseases that we see that kill deer in Florida are bacterial infections. Generally, pneumonia or other bacterial antler infections, for example, things like that, that wounds or something that get infected, and then the animal can have a really bad bacterial infection. That's a problem. Bacterial infections are also a big problem in fawns and young animals are more susceptible to bacterial infections. And then the third cause of death is parasites. So as you know, here in Florida, parasites can be a problem. They don't directly kill a lot of deer, but parasites are involved in terms of affecting the immune system, not letting the animal gain weight. You know, in general, the performance of the animal can be affected, and that can open the door for other diseases to come in and kill the animal. But like I said, also I mentioned a little bit before that the deer farming industry is still new. It's still a challenge to manage deer and to keep them in captivity. And so a factor that's very important in the health of deer is the stress. The stress component can be a very, very important factor that needs to be managed and needs to be taken care of, because it's perfectly healthy animals, if under high stress because, I don't know, a hurricane or something happened, those animals can get sick. So stress is a big component also in the deer farm industry.
And, think about stress in the context of you have them on a confined farm. There's no way for them to escape to a different environment. So I think stress is something unavoidable that the farmer needs to look at, the whole management and see where those critical stress areas are, and then move on and solve those issues. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So where do you see CHeRI in 10 years? What do you see based on what you have experienced now? What do you want to see CHeRI become, or the extensions systems out there that are similar to Florida's adopt something similar? What do you see in 10 years happening with your initiative?
Yes, CHeRI, I believe, it was something that came out to be really interesting and very effective. I think that the way that these deer farmers thought about it and were able to create the CHeRI program was something really good. We have been working from the beginning. Like I said, one of the first objectives was, okay, find out what's going on with these viruses that are killing our deer, and we need to find a solution. So the whole objective of CHeRI, and the way I see it, is that I want to see it in 10 years, is that we're finding solutions for health problems. But not just health problems. We have management, we have nutrition, we have many other factors. Like I said, that the deer farming industry is still new. We're still learning. There's not one rule that applies for everything, and so it's a little. So I see CHeRI as a way to be in moving in time, solving problems. First of all, we need to solve the problem of these viral diseases that are killing almost 50% of the deer when they get sick. So that's one thing that's very important, and we're almost there, because thanks to the work that we started from when we started, we right now have in the market an experimental vaccine for episodic hemorrhagic disease that's being used right now, and that's fully based on full genome sequence of serotypes that we collected here in Florida. So it's a vaccine that's specifically made with Florida genetic biogenetic information. So we're very hopeful that it's going to be very effective, and we think that that's a great thing, because if we can save 50% of those animals that are dying through a vaccine, that's wonderful. And not only, and the good thing about this is that everything, every research, every information, every successful story, and every positive factors that we find can be extrapolated to wild deer as well. So these vaccines, in the case there's a really bad outbreak in wild deers, if there's a way to give them the vaccine, we can, help wild deer as well. The more we learn about health, the more we learn about diseases, infectious diseases in captive deer, the more it can be extrapolated to wild deer. So I think CHeRI is doing a great job. We will be advancing. It's like fine-tuning a machine. We're going to start with the big problems, and then in time, there's always room to fine-tune productions. And I mean, the cattle industry, the sheep industry, it has been here for thousands of years, and we're still fine-tuning everything from health, nutrition, management, markets, everything. So that's how I see CHeRI in the future.
That's pretty awesome. And CHeRI is a good example of, taxpayer dollars at work. University of Florida IFAS Extension and the whole university system is based on taxpayer dollars. All of these are public institutions that are working towards producing solutions, towards helping new farmers get their feet wet and establish themselves, making them more profitable. In turn, when a deer producer is profitable, he's going to support other industries and businesses in their local communities. So we're actually improving communities based on science-based, research-based education. And that's why this is an effective model. That's why we have extension just for this problem-solve initiatives that are making the difference in the rural communities. So I really thank you and all the faculty and students that are working with deer populations, deer farming operations in Florida. Dr. Campos, thank you for all that you do. And hopefully the people that are looking at this video are gonna get the big picture of why Extension exists. And it's to solve problems, to help communities thrive. So thank you, Dr. Campos, for your time, for your service, and hopefully we're gonna see more of you. And thank you for what you guys are doing. It's very important.
Thank you so much, Jonael. Yes, you're absolutely right. CHeRI is providing a service, and we're very grateful to the University of Florida for IFAS to giving us the opportunity to do this in the institution. We're also very grateful, of course, for the support of the Florida legislature and the state, and that even this year with the big crisis in coronavirus, we were able to get the support from the state. I think that we are very thankful for that. And you're absolutely right. We are providing this service and trying to find solutions and make the deer farming industry a lot more productive.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I thank you again for your time, and please share this video with your friends out there, and remember that IFAS Extension and CHeRI are here to provide solutions for your problems. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time on another episode of DeerTalk.